Super Saiyan Rose Goku Black.
This is its fate. For the sake of our most glorious project, you will die today!
Hey guys, how's it going? This is Supreme and welcome back to another video on my channel in which I'm going to be discussing a little bit of a topic that's been flowing around the community recently of the things that can be added to the game to make the game better. DB Legends Tawny, or DB Zoom as some people might know him, made a video on this, and I told him I'd kind of do an extension of it as soon as the recent update was live, which had a lot of improvements to the game in it. So this is the video. I'm doing this without any script or anything, just a bit off the top of my head, which is kind of like what I like doing, since it's a bit more raw and not premeditated. It's just what I feel in the moment. But the first thing I'm going to get into is PvP. PvP rewards specifically. If you go to the reward list and the ranking rewards, it's all the same. If you finish in the top 10,000, you're going to get the same if you finish 9,000th or if you finish second. And that's really not how it should be. The person finishing in second should, I don't know, they should get more crystals for a starter. The way I think it should be is, because I remember DB Legends Tawny, he mentioned that we should be getting crystals for finishing below 10,000th position, which I agree with. I think it was him, if not it was Rhymestar, one of the two. They said that, and I agree with that, because it's kind of all or nothing when it comes to it, and when you're playing in a double RP season, and it goes right down to the wire, and you're on 11,000 RP and you don't know if you're safe or not, it's kind of like, well, shit, I'm going to go to sleep at night because reset at my time is at 3 in the morning. So you're kind of a bit worried that it's going to be, you know, that you're not going to get anything and you're not going to get rewarded for all the hard work you put in. So I think having a better reward system would be nice, and it would encourage people to push harder in PvP more than double RP, because if I'm pushing and I don't get top 10,000 but I get 500 crystals, which isn't enough for a multi. I mean, and now that I say this, I do remember it was DB Zoom, DB Legends Tawny, it was him that said it. It's not enough for a multi, so it's not really that much that you're giving them, but it's something encouraging to do, and something that, you know, makes people want to play PvP more. What I also think would be nice is to give more crystals for finishing in higher positions. Let's say you finish here, between 6,000th and 10,000th position, you get 1,000 crystals. You finish between 3,000 and 6,000th position, you get, I don't know, 1,500, or maybe that's too much, 1,200. If you finish here between 1,000 and 3,000th position, you'll get 1,500, and if you finish between 1,000 and second position, you get 1,700, something like that. Just more crystals is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be an excessive amount, but I do think if you finish first, you should get 2,000 crystals, for example. I just think the reward system should be better, as in a way to make people want to push. Because me, for example, I consider myself really good at the game. Not one of the best, but I consider myself a smart player, a player that can finish in the top 1,000 if I pushed hard. But I don't do it because I'm going to get the same rewards if I finish 9,000th as if I finish in second position, is what I'm trying to say. Even if it's like Zenkai Awakening Souls, something like that, just something a bit more encouraging, or a PvP only banner where you get tickets instead of master pack tickets. Anything, a bit of an improvement there would be nice, and I think it would be beneficial to the game. And also a thing I want to see is them to start implementing things to try out in casual matches, like no Rising Rush, which Toshi did mention that they would be adding slowly, stuff like that, and I think that would be quite an encouraging thing to try out matches, different stuff. I remember Fortnite used to try this with different events and stuff like that. They used to have like different game modes where people would go and try it out, and depending on the feedback, they would implement it into the game or not. And I think that would be a positive thing, because they are doing things from obviously the players' feedbacks and stuff like that, which is a very good thing to see. I mean, everyone wants to have a game that runs smoothly and has a nice connection between the developers and the players. Therefore, I think having that would be very good. Having like just test game modes, stuff like that, like they did with Ultimate Battle. Have it as a casual match thing where you can just jump in, see if you like it or not. You might like a match with no Rising Rush, or maybe it's limited to one per match, like Toshi said, something like that. It would be really cool. Or a match where element factor isn't a thing, or where it's reversed. A whole bunch of things you can try out, just some fun game modes. And another thing I want to see, while we're on the topic of PvP, is a tournament mode. I think this would be fantastic. And the version of a tournament mode that I would like to see implemented is one where you can constantly grind crystals, but it comes at a bit of a price, where you would, for example, pay 20 crystals to get into a competition, to a tournament, and you could win a maximum of 100, so you'd end up with gaining 80 crystals. And let's say, I don't know if you guys play FIFA, but there's a game mode called Foot Draft there, where you basically would be able to play 4 matches against different opponents in different stages, so it'd be like a knockout phase, and as you progress you get better rewards. Let's say you finish in the final 4, then you get 3rd place, you get your rewards back. For example, you get 20 crystals back. For finishing 2nd you'd get 50, and for finishing 1st you get 100, and then you can repeat that a maximum of maybe 3 times, or even 1 time a day. That would be a good way to get people to play and to just get crystals in your account. Like right now I'm sitting at 14,000, but I haven't been able to summon on banners because I want to save for the anniversary. And it would be a good way of getting people to, to want to farm and play the game and get good at the game in a way where they can actually gain something from it, rather than just play PvP forever and in the end not get top 10,000 and end up just being frustrated and not wanting to play because they don't get anything from it. I think it would be healthy for the game to have that. But yeah, that's enough about PvP. Let's move into another thing, which is co-op, which has improved a lot in my opinion, but I think we need a kind of communication kind of thing. I think the rewards need to be changed a little bit. I think they're good. I do think co-op rewards are very good, but I do think that the adventures that drop in co-op should give more of these things right here, Zenkai Souls. And to give you an example, I've been farming the yellow ones for a few days now, and I've only got like 300 of each, and it's sad to see that I've got that little amount, because I'm trying to get the Zenkai Goku up to obviously level 6 and get him max soul boosted. I can't do that unless I spend here, and I don't want to do that because I want to limit break other characters by buying the multi-Z power. So I think just the drop rate of adventures and the souls in adventures should be a bit better. But other than that, I think co-op's improved. I like the fact that they've added the Zenkai into it, and I think that's very healthy for the game. I hope they do this with all the Legends Road units, and I do hope that that they make it so that we get, for example, daily discounts on our Zenkai units. And I do think Zenkai should be available from 2 stars onwards or 0 stars onwards. I don't think there should be a cap. But for example, if we got a daily discount on these banners like we did on other banners, like on this one right here, which I've done my dailies on these, but like these ones for example, if we got discounts, we'd be able to do it every day and slowly work them up to Zenkai level 2, 3 and onwards. Because if not, you're obliged to spend 300 at a time, which is quite a hefty amount, and sometimes it's not really worth it, or you don't feel like it's worth it. So yeah, I think that would be a healthy thing to add as well. But yeah, like I said, co-op is much better than it was. I think we do need a communication system, as in with your partner. That could be through stickers in the game, as in, or just seeing what the partner's got in his hand and what he's doing, because it has improved. I mean, now Rising Rush doesn't cancel out the other one, but sometimes you don't know when someone's using it, stuff like that, and it's kind of, you want to see what the opponent's got in his hand to try and, be more in sync with your opponent and just make it easier. But it is a lot more fluid, and I do think it's a lot better. What I do think should be fixed is the connection, because if someone's got a dodgy connection, disconnects, and there you go, you've just wasted 3 minutes and you need to look for another opponent, which sometimes isn't easy. Other than that, like I said, it's much better than it was. Another thing that needs to be fixed is the guild. I mean, I'm not going to go in there, but guilds need to be fixed. The rewards are very bad. I mean, actually, I will go in there. I'm going to go in because it doesn't really matter. Just to show you the rewards. I was saving up the guild coins for a while, and I didn't even have 1,000 of them. And I'm in a top guild, as you can see. And it's just kind of, it's demoralizing to see that you're in something that's top in the world, top 1% in the world, and you can't do anything with it because I haven't got any guild coins because I've spent them all on a few of these things and I've run out of guild coins already, and I'm in a top guild where we all get almost 2 million points a season. So yeah, I mean, it needs a bit of a rehash, something a bit more interactive, because it's kind of like you just don't even notice it's there, and then you log in once just to see where you finished, and you grab your points, and you're on with your day, and you move on. I just don't get that, but yeah, it is what it is. I hope they change that a little bit, because it kind of needs a bit of a revamp. Pretty much that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Another thing I think should be changed is I think story should be added a bit more, frequently. They're doing a bit better, but I mean, I don't know what they're doing here. It's a bit inconsistent where you've got 900 stars here and then it goes down to 100. It just seems like they're a bit inconsistent with it. A bit of consistency would be nice, but obviously I don't really follow the story, but it's a good way of getting crystals and stuff like that, and if they put it out a bit consistently, it would be a bit better. Another thing I want to talk about, which no one really does, is this thing right here, Ultra Space Time Rush. It's kind of a weird one because you can use auto mode, which they did make better, but it's not like in Grand Cross 7 Deadly Sins, for example, where you can just spam auto repeat and it will do it all on its own. I have to be constantly resetting my characters and stuff like that with this, and I think what should be done is, for starters, we need a new Rush, because Rush 5 is really easy now. But I think you should have an auto mode where it auto sets your characters to do the challenge and it just does it on its own, and you can just let it farm it and that's it. I think that would be best for all of us, because it's kind of a point now where I'm just sitting down and I'm playing on the PlayStation or just doing something. I'll be playing the guitar or something, and I'm always having to check my phone to just reset the characters, and it's like it just makes it a bit slower and a bit annoying to do. And a lot of people just leave it to the last day because they just can't be bothered to do it because it's quite boring. And the last thing I want to talk about is this thing right here, banners. I'm going to talk about step-up banners in particular, and I want to talk about the rates. I think they've improved it because it used to be 5% for a sparking. What I think it should be is, I might sound a bit too out there with this, but I think it should be a sparking per multi. I think Dokkan has it with their SSRs, but yeah, it's got to the point where we've got loads of sparkings that aren't even that good. I mean, if you pull something from down here, you're not going to want it. Obviously, the chances of getting something better is higher, but what I think it should be is 10% for a sparking. And I'm going to break it down into where there's basically this. 12 units. Just picture this. 12 units. 9 of them are at 1%. So 12 sparkings you'd have. 9 of them at 1%, sorry. And then you'd have 3 LFs basically on the banner. 1 of them being new and 2 of them being old. Each of them at 0.33%. That would be pretty healthy for the game, in a way where you're guaranteed pretty much a sparking every multi, and it's not necessarily going to be a featured unit, because we only get 2 per banner, and you've only got a 1.3% chance of getting a featured unit in that system. But you're guaranteed a unit, like a sparking unit, and since you've only got 12 of them on the banner, you're guaranteed something that's kind of useful if they make it so that the units are pretty useful, like they did with this one, where you've got Red Frieza, who's a good unit, Cooler, who's a good unit, Bardock, Frieza again. They're all good units, pretty much. And, yeah, I think that would be a good way to make banners a bit less frightening to summon on. But, yeah, that's something that I don't know if they'll add. I think they should. But, yeah, I mean, we'll see. And, pretty much that's about it. That covers most of the things I wanted to say, except one last thing, which is, the beloved Rising Rush. I mean, everyone hates it. Everyone hates it. I'm not against the mechanic of the Rising Rush. I just think that it's just too luck-based. And if it is that way and it stays that way, which I think it will, I think if you get your Rush guessed or you guess a Rising Rush, the fight should return to a neutral position. So it would return like at the end of a beam clash or something like that. that returns to a neutral position. You can't KO anyone from it, so you might as well do the same with a Rising Rush, where it goes back to like it would be at the start of the fight, where you both have to fight for priority. Because I said this in a previous video, I think, or on Instagram I said it, where you can be winning a game comfortably, and then suddenly they guess your Rising Rush, and if you're playing a good player, because like I said, I consider myself a decent player where I can hold a combo and just keep priority for a long time until the game is pretty much won, or until the tables are turned because of Rising Rush. And if they then get priority, they can do the exact same thing to you, Rising Rush you, and KO one of your units, and then suddenly the tables have turned a lot, because, well, you're stuck in a position where you've lost a character and you had the dominance throughout the whole fight. So it's kind of a bit, you know, it causes a lot of rage, and a lot of people aren't really, you know, for Rising Rush. But yeah, I tried to not make this video drag on a lot. It did a little bit, but that was pretty much it. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, you know, feel a bit, you know, if you feel like I was right with a few of the things I said, share this video. We all know now that Toshi is watching in secret, so share the video, just spread the word, let me know what you think should be changed in the game, and yeah, subscribe if you're new, leave a like if you did enjoy, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.